Good morning, everyone. This mic is not on. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us in celebrating the grand opening of Vision Corner. Let's kick things off with our series of speeches, starting with Chad Spence, the Mayor of Union City.
Wow. Thank you. Thank each and every one of you. Absolutely, positively blessed beyond measure to be here and to have all of you here with us. First and foremost, thanks be to God for the very breath in our lungs and the very ground we're standing on, and for even making this day possible. What you're standing in is obviously a huge investment by so many folks. Time, money, energy, effort. It's wonderful, certainly. But the real investment that you see here is in our people. We're investing in our people. We could have $1 billion sitting in this room, but if there's not one set of hands to put it to use, 100 years from now, it's still going to be $1 billion and not serve anybody any bit of good. You could put a bunch of scrap metal in the middle of the room and set a few hands on it, and they could build an engine and power an automobile. It's people. People make the difference. You guys make the difference. You guys help make this project possible. So to the community of Union City, to the region, I present to you your Vision Corner. Thank you. But now the call to action. And the call to action goes to every student in our school and in our region. The call to action goes to every citizen in this community, everybody in this area. We have got to make this what it's capable of being, and we will determine what it's capable of being. You know, I want so much to encourage the kids in our community and the young adults. I don't care if you've got breath in your lungs. If you're 95 years old and you have breath in your lungs, you're here for a reason. But somewhere along the way, I feel like we, as adults, we lose that imagination or that dare to dream. We ask our kids to think big. We want them to accomplish great things and go off and conquer the great beyond, but somehow we lose our own way. And so I want this facility and the purposes of this facility to embolden our community and to believe in what is possible. Because if you take this building, for example, it's not unlike a lot of us in life. Back behind me, after we bought the building, a month into it, the floor collapsed. If you could see through this building when we first bought it, you would see that the floor generally sloped down toward the back of the building, and upstairs were dilapidated apartments. And if you see pictures of what this building used to look like, the one thing those pictures won't give you is smell. So we have come a long way. But if you think about it, when we first got this building, I pictured the bricks in the building, and I actually, honest to goodness, pictured someone putting those bricks. There was a guy who laid those bricks on the outside of this building, and then when he didn't do it with power tools, and then he went home and probably lit the lamp, probably didn't have electricity or may not have electricity, did not drive home probably, but still made this possible. And what's cool to think, he had no idea what he was building and what this would be someday. And this building, when it first started, was great with expectation and promise and hope. And then it ran into rough times. And then things went south. And then it became empty and vacant and barren. All the while, this, the whole time, was possible. And that is each and every one of us. We're all going to stumble in life at some point or another or have our challenges. But this is what's possible if we just believe. So I want to again thank you Thank you for coming to your Vision Corner, and I will turn it back over to Audrey.
Thank you, Mr. Spence. Next, we'll hear from Aaron Black, the superintendent of Randolph Eastern School Corporation.
Again, I just want, just looking at the people here, there's so many people that we can thank, and there's a long list of folks, but there are three specific thank yous that I got to lift up. First of all, the guys in blue back here that made this building happen, Joe Davis and his crew. I go back to when Chad brought to me this vision and this conversation about coming downtown and highlighting the work that our students do. And to be quite honest with you, there wasn't really a plan. And up until probably yesterday, there's not really been a clear plan. But every time we come to Joe and his crew, and I know we've frustrated the dickens out of them for 4 years, but they've just answered a call. And that cannot be missed. The next group I got to lift up is our staff and our students. They've been in this space, cleaning daily, drywall dust, putting together Apache studio, putting together K.I.S.S TV studio. We had 2 young men that did all the wiring in this building. A little bit of direction from Blake Clevenger, but they did the wiring. And just think about all the technology that's done by students. Then the last person that I've got to call out, and he's really humble about this, is Mayor Spence. Like this, talk about a roll of the dice. This building, to be what it is today, has everything to do with him having a vision, having some thoughts on saving a space, and just being bold, being brave, not perfect, which you'll hear me reference again later on. But so now the challenge is on, right? The real bit work begins tomorrow. A matter of fact, it begins when this ribbon gets cut, the work happens when you go over to Apache Studios and you buy t-shirts from students that have worked their tails off to produce them for this moment. The work begins immediately. The work is happening by the young man that's back in the control room now, making sure that people at home can be a part of this moment. So this work must continue, and now it gets real on the education side. The celebration, and everybody looks at the opportunity that we've created for students in Randolph County, which is a beautiful thing, and we've got our other county schools represented here. Their students are going to have access to this space, which is awesome, right? That helps improve numbers and courses, but also just helps the workforce issues that we're seeing in our medical and our entrepreneurship world. But the pride point for me, and I share this very boldly, I'll be super excited when our students graduate next year with a CCMA, a certificate, and they go on to Ivy Tech and they go to Reed Hospital and they spend their career there. Like that's the feather in the cap. The bigger feather in the cap that I want to pursue is the first time we have an adult that's 35, 45 years old come back into the space, earn a CCMA, and start to improve their life. That's the beacon of hope that Vision Corner provides, and that's the challenge that I publicly am putting out in front of everybody, is that our goal is not only to assist our current students, but also assist anybody that wants to make improvement in their life. And I truly believe when you want to change the demographics and the struggle of the community, it comes through some sort of education. And that's what Vision Corner offers to our people. And I just couldn't be more proud to be a part of this moment for Union City and Randolph County and just East Central Indiana in general. So thank you. Again, I issue this challenge to all of you. Take the opportunity to be brave and don't be perfect. I coined that after Neil Adams, but it took a lot of bravery from a lot of people to make this happen, whether you made financial contributions, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And it wasn't the pursuit of being perfect. It was just the pursuit of being brave to present opportunities to students that just don't have those opportunities in front of them every day. So thank you all so much for coming. I cannot wait to show you this amazing facility. I hope you can stick around and be a part of the student pitch competition at 12:30. If you want something that's going to make you emotional and give you hope for a future, stick around and watch those kids knock it out of the park for an hour. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Black. Next is Steve James, the CEO of Frank Miller Lumber.
Good morning. It's an honor for me to speak to you today. But first, I got to let you in on a little secret, all right? Prior to 2012, I did not know Frank Miller Lumber or Union City even existed. It's not a bad thing, right? Just wasn't part of my world. And then fate happened. And I got to meet this amazingly wonderful lady, Martha Mathias. Again, she was the chairperson of Frank Miller at the time. She's the mother of Susan Murray, our current chairperson. And you know, it's interesting. She asked me to do 4 things, okay? She asked me, 1, to take care of our employees because they deserved to be taken care of. She also asked me to develop a business model that would have us to be sustainable for future generations because it was really important for this community to have employers like Frank Miller Lumber be a part of their community. And then 3rd, she asked me to go out in the community and tell our story. And really, this is the amazing part. And quite honestly, it still gives me chills to think about this. Because as I'm out telling the story, right, things are happening. And again, it's a power higher than ours, I think, as Chad said, right? So there's a power in play here in this community, and we can't miss that. So as I'm telling my story, Cian Bales, right, is transitioning from the leader of the YMCA to the leader of economic development. Her and her board decided that they were going to combine the economic development, tourism, and the chamber into one entity called the RCU. And they were going to focus on the quality of life of our residents here versus chasing manufacturing jobs. Because they believed that if they could improve the quality of life, people would stay in Randolph County. And maybe the people that had left Randolph County would actually come back and want to live here again. And maybe for those individuals that didn't even know that Randolph County existed, maybe they would move here and call this place home. At the same time, Mayor Spence was assuming the mayorship from Mayor Conklin, and again, expanding on the great things that Mayor Conklin did. And as if you've heard Chad speak before, you cannot revitalize a city unless it has a vibrant downtown. So he started on that mission. And at the same time, our school systems decided to collaborate with each other, and they decided to focus on a pathway to success for all of our students, not just the ones going to college. And trust me, folks, that is a big deal. Very few communities are doing what we're doing here, putting aside our differences and making this a betterment for our community. Which brings me to the last thing she asked me to do. And Chad probably knows that, right? She goes, Steve, please, please, please convince the mayor to paint that hideous building downtown. And again, Martha's tying up a few things in Florida and she can't be here today. But again, along with Martha and Susan and myself and the rest of Frank Miller Lumber, I just want to congratulate all of you for making this a reality, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds. God bless and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. James. Next, we have Jason Troutwine, Vice President of Reed Health and President of the Reed Foundation.
Still morning, right? Good morning, everyone. So, to look at this crowd, it's pretty amazing. I think someone told me there were going to be about 50 people here, and I think there are maybe about a couple hundred. And then I look around the room, and I see a lot of people from different counties here, people from all over East Central Indiana. And I think, when I think about Vision Corner, I don't know who came up with the name Vision Corner. I'm sure one of you do. But Vision Corner, it says the name of this building, the name of this organization says everything that this group is representing. We all have a collective vision, I hope, I think. By you being here, I think you're saying that, of what we want our region to be, what we want Union City to be, what we want Randolph County to be. A vision that we want our kids to stay here, to want to be here, not to go off to the West Coast or the East Coast or to Indianapolis or wherever it might be, but to say, I want to live in Randolph County, I want to live in Union City, I want to work at Reed Health, I want to stay in my region, and I want to make it a better place than it is today. And that's what this Vision Corner represents. It's what we have here. Right now at Reed Health, we have about 150 job openings that require a clinical credential. We can't fill them. We have to recruit people from wherever, and they say, kind of like what Steve was saying, where's Union City? Where's Richmond, Indiana? Why would I want to go there? While we have people here who want to be here, but they can't find the jobs because they can't make the connection between where they're at in high school and where they want to be as an adult. And that's what Vision Corner's doing for those kids. It's getting them excited about healthcare career pathways. It's getting them excited about communications. It's getting them excited about working at Frank Miller Lumber. It's getting them excited about being able to stay home and stay here and make a difference in their community. And I think that's what we all are saying by being here today that we want. It's about economic development. It's about experiential learning and being excited about your future. And that's really what Vision Corner, to me, represents. I came to a meeting about 2 years ago at Hometown Coffee. I don't even know why. I got an invitation. I showed up. I don't know why. I didn't know who Aaron was. And I left that meeting, and I made a phone call before I even got to the railroad tracks and said, I was in the most amazing meeting this morning where people came together. Students were there. Educators were there, business people were there, and they were talking about what can we do different to get our kids excited about staying here and give them an opportunity to change the trajectory of their life. And that's what this is. And I'm really, really proud personally to be part of it, and I'm really proud that Reed Health is part of this. So thank you all for being here today and celebrating what we have as our vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Troutwine. Next is Chad Bolzer, the Chancellor at Ivy Tech Community College, Richmond.
Good morning. One of my favorite communicators, Andy Stanley, has a really interesting philosophy. He says when you're faced with an insurmountable, unbelievable challenge, and you don't really know where to start, he says, do for one what you'd like to do for everyone. I've thought about that quote and that philosophy so many times traveling to Union City. This place, this Vision Corner, is not just for one, but the impact on one will create a ripple effect that we cannot measure. It will, the individuals that will come in here and access education and be excited about their home, that see prosperity, see their future, they earn their credential, they earn an opportunity to grow because of your vision. You've done for one what you'd like to do for everyone. The coolest part about being a part of Ivy Tech Community College and serving this area in Randolph County is that you see leaders give of themselves for the benefit of others in more, honestly, than a lot of places we know. It's impressive. It's inspiring. In the last year, I've grown close. I call these folks friends, leaders in the communities that are colleagues. I am concerned and want and vision with them. It has honestly changed this one's life. I am so proud of our part of Ivy Tech being involved in this place. We hope that we will be able to change that one. And if I've learned anything about Union City, Indiana, and Randolph County, Indiana, is this. It's my second favorite quote. The best is yet to come. We cannot wait to see the outcomes and the results of this great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bolzer. Lastly is Karen Lloyd, the Executive Director here at Vision Corner.
So these guys left me 10 minutes to fill. So I didn't actually prepare anything because I didn't think I was actually going to have to stand up here and talk very long. But I can do some talking. First off, I want to thank all of you for coming today. I kept getting questions about how many people to expect today because I was also told around 50, and I was like, I don't know, I think we'll have around 100. So thank you for showing up today to celebrate this with us. So I joined Vision Corner about 6 months ago, so I wasn't really on board in 2019 when this started getting talked about. But one of the things that I think about when I think about Vision Corner is what I was told that this would do. We talked about this being about economic development, we talked about this being about community revitalization, and we talked about this being excellence in education. I can see all of those things happening now, even while the building wasn't completely finished, right? So I watch as we shop at the local stores here, as we eat at the local restaurants, go and get coffee in the morning, so with that economic development piece of it. I sit and I watch the revitalization to watch this building, and if you're in the offices later, Steve and I have slideshows on our TVs, and you can see what this building looked like if you're not familiar with that, from the light blue building to the green building, and now to what it is now. And what I will say is, while you're in the building today, know that we do still have some things to do. The building will be painted, we have awnings to go up, we have signage, so there's things that we still need to do, but we are so grateful that we can open our building today. I think it was alluded to earlier, but we do have a crew back here that has been in this building every day. And that's one of the things I want to talk about. For me, this is about community. I'm not from Union City, but I know of Union City. My sisters are here. They probably remember coming over and going into the candy factory with Dad to get candy for the baseball card shop, but I didn't know a lot about the community. I interviewed for this job, and I want to thank the board of directors for entrusting me to be the face of Vision Corner. And with that said, I also want to thank our Student Advisory Council. I'll explain the t-shirts here in a few minutes. But thank you so much for entrusting me with that and for building my community. I've come into work into this building, and I've gotten to know all of our crews and the people that have built this from the ground up. So there's a big thank you in that. I do want to explain the shirt, so while you're out and about today. So anybody that's in a white shirt today is a part of our leadership team. That's our Youth Advisory Council, that's our executive board. It is also Becky, Blake, Corey, Phil that are overseeing the students that are in this building. Julie. Yes. The folks that are in blue, those are people that were working in this building. So whether it was through demolition or getting us up into this open house today are in blue. Our school folks are in red. All of you that are in gray are now a part of Vision Corner too. So with that being said, thank you to everyone. We are actually going to do the ribbon cutting up here so that we can broadcast the ribbon cutting. I'm going to bring up a few folks, and then the goal is, and it looks like it may work out for me, my dream today was to have a picture with everybody that is here today. So once we've wrapped things up for the ribbon cutting in here, I'm going to have everybody head outside into the out front of the building so that we can get a picture of everyone that's here to celebrate with us today. So yeah, there's a few extra minutes if anybody has anybody else they want to thank. I'm going to take a couple more minutes. I'm going to thank some people specifically. I'm going to thank this construction crew back here that has, one, taken me in and allowed me into their world of construction. I had no idea what I was getting into. I was not hired for project management, but I've got to learn that world a little bit. I also want to thank the folks that show up for me and help direct me, so my board of directors. I have a cute little 9-year-old over here, my daughter, who allows me to get things done around here, so I want to thank her. My family's here to celebrate with us today, too. The ladies from the city building, I asked them to be in here. They're back here. So when I first started here, I didn't really know anybody. They told me I was going to office with Steve Shoemaker, and I was like, okay, but these ladies took good care of me, taught me the ropes, got me the things that I needed, tape. I need a stapler. I had nothing. And then is Steve in here? Is Steve Shoemaker in here?
He's probably hiding.
Okay, well, he's not going to be able to hide for long, but I want to give a special thanks to Steve. Steve really took me under his wing. He showed me the ropes around here. He's made connections for me anytime I have any questions. And so I want to give a special thanks to Steve for being a part of that and helping me. He's hiding out there. Okay, I can see him. And then if you guys will all let me thank Audrey in front of you. I asked her if she would do these introductions for me today. Audrey is actually the intern for Vision Corner. She does a remarkable job. I can guarantee you that she would tell you this is probably not any normal internship. We may be out squeegeeing windows. We do cleaning. She goes to meetings with me. Basically, when I'm in the building and she's in the building, whatever I'm doing, she's doing along with me. And I'll just share a brief story. When we were cleaning the windows outside, she has to turn in what she's doing, and she said she put cleaning the windows. And it was like, you're not just cleaning the windows, you're doing the operations of a building. You're helping to manage the budget of that building by doing those things yourself. So thank you, Audrey, for all you do for me. You keep me sane. All right, so where am I at on time? Oh, look at that. 4 minutes if anybody wants to say anything. And if not, then what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick switch to move this podium out of the way so we can do the actual ribbon cutting. I do want our construction crew up here for this. This building they've put their blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I want you guys up here for this because I feel like that's very important. I also want to recognize Blake and Zach and Alec. They're back here. They're going to come up here too. So these are the two young gentlemen that have run the network cabling throughout this building. And any time, so this construction crew and them know at any point in time, I may say, we need a data drop here. I need an outlet here. Can you fix this? Can you do this? And so I appreciate all of that. So I'm going to have you guys come up here for the ribbon cutting. I need Steve to come in for the ribbon cutting, and I'm going to ask my daughter to come up for the ribbon cutting. Outside? Is it raining outside? Nope. Okay, I want everybody to head outside to the front of the building if you will do that for me so I can get this picture that I'm dreaming of. After the picture.
After the picture, we have open house, and the whole building is for your perusal, and then we also have